And good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another setting of Edessa the Dark Crusade, Season 2. As today, well, the primogen of the Clan of Roses has decided to pay a visit to someone. Someone asked for help, and, well, she's accepted to help them, and she's right now making her way to them on wearing a beautiful dress, because fuck you, I'm pretty. And on her horse, she's making her way to Fumoshi, or anywhere he said he could be found.
He can in fact be found at he can be found at a Catholic church in Riverside.
She, approaching the church, get off the horse and enter. Enter.
Famushi is actually outside of
Oh,
the church.
okay.
You see him kneeling down, and there's a young girl, can't be more than 12 years old, who is kind of sitting propped up against the church. He has his hand on her forehead. Her eyes are closed, and her breathing is rather shallow. There are two people standing off to the side who you'd guess would be her parents, maybe. But he gives her something to drink from a small bottle on his from a small bottle at his waist that he basically takes from his belt before replacing it, and he then puts his hand on her forehead to basically check her temperature, as it were, you'd assume. Margot, because of we're doing this for roleplay fluff, so roles are not really going to be a proprietary thing. You feel he definitely does something. But the girl appears to be breathing easier now, and he picks her up very, very gently before he hands her back to her parents, and he says in a low voice, "The fever has broken. She will be right tomorrow. If you can give anything that you can spare to the church in thanks, I'm sure that they will not turn it away." They will do the whole bowing thank you, but they will walk away. They will
Uh,
smile.
how poor does this family look?
Yeah. Not necessarily ridiculously poor. You guess that maybe they're merchants or like they're middle. They'd be the equivalent of the middle class.
Okay.
So they're not ridiculously poor looking.
Well, she would have given money if they were super poor, but then she'll just smile at them, and look at Fumoshi. Fumoshi, it is good to see you again.
Imogen, what do I owe this pleasure?
I said I would help you, and I do not like to lie. I rarely lie.
It is part of the teachings that were handed to me by my sire's sire, Lord Samael, that I'm incapable of lying. So I find it gratifying that you hold to a similar moral code.
And she'll smile. So, I offered to help with money.
Indeed. He casually sits down on the ground, basically kind of crossing his legs underneath him. Um, if Evelyn would like to walk in,
Yes, she would actually walk up, just kind of a little nervously. After all, the last time she saw him, he flipped a table on her.
That is right. She'll makes a step aside. Ah, Lady Evelyn.
Hello, Primogen. It's good to see you again.
Thank you. As it is good to see you. You two must tell me what happened when I walked out. There was an awful lot of noise. The other day when I walked out of the shop.
My
Evelyn.
apologies. Hmm?
Evelyn's face would just kind of go red.
Lady Evelyn, I'm to understand that I owe you my sincerest apology.
It's quite all right. She would dig around in a satchel that she keeps on her side and pull out his teapot.
Teapot!
I believe you left this at the shop.
It means very much to me that you would return it. This has walked with me an immensely long way. There is sentimentality in it because every cup of tea that I have shared with people, both near and far, is a memory. And now many of those people are but memories. I consider this to be the repository of the said, so I thank you for its safe return.
I was worried it might break when the table was flipped, but it didn't appear to be harmed.
When the table was flipped, what on earth did happen?
I suppose I should, let Fumoshi explain that.
What happened? The individual who came in as you were leaving. The usurper.
Yes,
Apparently her name is Flavia.
yes, her name is Flavia.
She has killed one of us and drunk their soul into her.
Killing one of us is one thing. After all, when we're at war, sometimes, well, as unfortunate it is, those things happen, but drag the soul. She's a diabrist.
Yes.
That I was not aware of.
It is once again given down to me by my sire's sire, the great Lord Samael, that we cannot allow those who have transgressed in such a way to leave without being chastised and vengeance being taken upon them. I attempted to get the vengeance that was required for the soul she had so callously drunk into herself. However, she retreated with her magics before I was able to land a blow.
Have you told the sheriff about this?
I have informed the seneschal of this.
Good. I'm sure he will do what is necessary.
There is great honor in the clan of Lasombra. I have no doubt that they will do what is necessary.
There is. And the seneschal is an honorable.
Since you returned my teapot to me, may I repay you?
I would not ask it, but if you wish to, I would not decline.
How about I repay you with a story?
I think that is acceptable.
Once a very long time ago, when the world was different, younger, and unscarred as it is now, there were two brothers. These two brothers loved one another deeply, for both had the passion for seeing what was yet to come. However, one was racked with pain, madness. He would tear at himself with hand and claw, teeth. And it was only his brother who could nurse his fragile mind and make it so that he could see himself for the wonder that he was. He could cure his madness, even if only temporarily, take away that pain so that he could live. Those brothers were named Saulot and Malkath. So ever since the beginning of all things, your clan and mine have always walked hand.
Did she actually state she was a Malkavian?
I've heard you call the Malkavian.
Okay. I didn't know that story. Thank you.
Yeah, I just realized we're actually the our three OC are three our three antediluvians were from the same sire.
Yeah, Malkav, Enoch, and I can never remember the name of Toreador. Or Malkav, Saulot, and Enoch.
Arikel.
Yeah, all came from Enoch. Yeah. Though there's that weird one that people think that Saulot was actually second generation, but we're not going to get into that.
Yes. Anyways.
But he smiles and he says, "People often forget the history. That's the reason why there are so few of my kind in these nights. Because people have forgotten what it is we do, and it has made people like Tabarus filled with rage because we could be so easily forgotten."
I'm unsure if I've met Tabrus or not. I have heard of him many times now.
Oh yes, I think he was the man that came to you when you first arrived. The man in armor.
A very, very large one.
Yes. And I was forced to defeat my brother in a duel of honor. He shrugs. I am not proud of what I needed to do, but it needed to be done. Hatred had clouded his heart. I needed to show him that there was a brighter possibility for it tomorrow.
He did seem rather angry when I saw him on the road.
Yes. Once again, it can oftentimes cut very deeply, Lady Evelyn, when it is you are so easily forgotten and thrown aside.
She would contemplate for a minute and then kind of look up at him and, would it be okay if I gave you a hug?
If you would like.
Mark brightens up at this. She's like, oh.
He will very, very gracefully stand up, but obviously he's not exactly sure where you are, so you will have to angle yourself into the hug. But he will open his arms.
Which is fine. Keep in mind she's like 4'11".
Oh, little. To be fair,
She, she,
he's not much taller. He's only about 5'6", 5'7".
Okay, yeah, she's still very, very tiny. So she would kind of angle in so that she could hug him.
He hugs. He closes his arms around you. Once again, you feel that there's quite a lot of potence there, but he's not using it to crush you, obviously. But he will say, "Promise me something, Lady Evelyn, if you would be so kind as to give me the promise."
I suppose I could do that.
"If the usurpers come for me and end up closing my eyes to this world for a second time, ending my second life, as it were, at least remember me.
Of
And
course.
remember me fondly." He smiles. "But yes, Curmudgeon, to go back to your point that you made, Master Omar Shadid has promised to help us, of course, but any other aid that you can render, any finances you would wish to donate, will be eternally and
Oh, yes, that was another matter that I needed to discuss with you. I would also like to help you.
In what way?
Financially. Or with time. Either one. Or both.
We are happy to accept whatever it is you wish to give. My clan ultimately seek only to heal this and make right the broken bones and rent skin and the diseases of the world. That is all we seek to do. And so we've decided that we will leave Edessa, well, not go very far. There is a small township outside of Edessa called Zengud's Wall. That is where we will go to build our hospital.
Then you'll have my aid.
Thank you.
And Maka will go to her horse as she gets out a big ass bag and comes back with, she'll use the 3 dots of her resources for that. So I'm not exactly sure how much money that is, how much gold that is. Pretty sure it's a whole fucking lot.
Basically, how it's going to work is, so basically, if you have resources you want to pitch in, that's great. It's going to be a blue booking post, so just basically say, I'm donating this. If you want to throw some of your influences in to get like the nobles or the small folk involved, that's also really good. Just put it in your blue booking. Basically, yeah, so we basically need money and influences to make the dream work, as it were, and that's what we're currently doing.
And now I go check. Yeah, she has 3 dots of noble influence, so...
And let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing.
So yeah, noble influence, commerce influence, small folk influence, basically anything to get the ball rolling, as it were.
Yeah, Marga has the same 3 points of noble influence, so she'll come back with a big bag of money. This is for as far as resources go, and I will work my way through the nets I have in the noble and see to it that the nobles help as much as they can.
I have the
You're right.
same, so I will also contribute my sway over the nobility.
We are very grateful for your help. And though we cannot repay you in coin, we can never repay you for what you give. Know that you will own a small amount of every smile that you helped create, and every life that you helped to lengthen will owe years to you. So I shall hope that that may free your soul of some weight, because what you've done is a very good deed.
The smile of the people is the greatest gift I can ever think of.
May I tell you another story, Lady Evelyn?
Yes, please.
Bobby has decided to be vocal.
Bobby wants to hear the story too.
So it was, as they stood upon a plain, blood fresh on his hand, when it was our dark, or no, he isn't called the Dark Father yet, when it was Cain was cursed, one after another, by the messengers of God. They struck him with their curses that he should walk forever in darkness. They struck him with his curses that he must subsist upon the blood of man. They struck him with their words that he would forever be denied the kingdom of heaven. And Cain looked upon them, and he exalted from the innermost depths of his heart, and he said, can there be no rest? Can there be no reprieve? At which point, as they turned to leave one after another, having done God's work, he called out to them once more, and he grabbed the robe of the angel Gabriel, and he pleaded with him on bended knee. And Gabriel turned to Cain and said, that those of you who follow the path of man, those of you who love man and who take upon themselves this innermost belief, this innermost light, may yet know God's grace and may yet know God's forgiveness. So it was Gabriel left, and though Cain never truly found this path, never truly accepted it into his own heart. Others dared. Through kindness, actions, through kind actions and goodly intent, to the innermost light, they found themselves here. Every good deed like you have just performed weighs on your soul, and it gives your soul freedom to the beast. Thank you, Beth. I am eternally grateful.
On a side note, he has just spoken about Gelconda. Feel free to reference that in any way you want. Because Gelconda is a pretty big deal, and it's also not something that a lot of people know about.
Yeah, I don't think Evelyn would know about it. She's got nothing in theology.
My
Would it
theology
be? Would it be?
my theology spec is actually Gelconda.
Wouldn't Conda be kindred law?
Hang on, the bishop's awake. Ask him.
I mean, I don't think I have enough. But just
Shayna, go and ask him.
I'm going to ask him while I simultaneously bitch at him for still being awake.
I'm sorry, I just love the last one because I can talk to animals too. Amazing.
Now let's see if he responds. He probably isn't going to look at it to keep me from bitching at him, but I know he's still up because he posted shit in the fucking Discord.
Did he?
Yep. He posted the end of a scene for Edessa. And I'm like, God damn it, Bishop, go to bed. But let's see if he responds.
It's fine. I can just teach the babies about, Gelconda. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Margot will say, "I walk the path of humanity, but I have not
Also,
heard of
he also posted in Edessa
in
like 21
Edessa."
minutes ago.
Yes, she'll say, "I walk the path of humanity, but I have not heard of your tale."
Nor have I.
Lord Salot went into the east. He walked many paths and spoke to many Brahmin, many wise men, and when he returned, he had a third eye upon his forehead, for he had achieved Galkonda. He had achieved the transcendence of his beast. He had achieved oneness with God. That is what my plan is like. Emulate our founder. Very few succeed in walking the path, but some do. Some do.
Sounds like something not only your clan should aspire to, but many kindred. Sorry, Knight should say.
We tried to
Indeed.
teach the lesson, but then again, as I said, there are so few of us nowadays. And admittedly, that is not necessarily the fault of us, or rather, that is not necessarily entirely the fault of the usurpers. My own clan broke in two. My caste, the warriors, wanted to avenge our now fallen Lord Saulot when he had his blood stolen from him by the Tremere, when they consumed his soul. Whereas the healer caste wanted to try and grow beyond it. After all, he was great and powerful, but we ourselves must aspire to be more than simply followers of a man, regardless of his power. My clan shattered in two, and so we were picked off. It is my hope to bring the two halves back together, to reunite them as a whole, so that we may have the prospect of tomorrow.
It sounds like a worthy goal.
All goals taken. All goals that we walk with in our hearts that exist in the truest place, regardless what they may be, every one of them are worthy.
I suppose you're right.
He puts his teapot into his own satchel. Little teapot.
Oh,
Excuse me. And he says, "I will be leaving the city, more than likely tomorrow evening for Zengad's Wall. I'll be taking them with me." He points over to the door. As you look inside, you'll see about 6 other individuals who are sitting inside praying. They're just there. No one has aura sight on, do they?
I mean,
actually,
she
now
very
that you mention it,
could.
I
yeah,
beg your pardon?
Morgan might activate it.
Turn it on. Perception empathy, difficulty 8, minus your aspects level.
I think Evelyn's gonna do the same.
Yay!
Just
Does Evelyn
check.
actually? Does Evelyn actually have empathy?
Perception. Okay. Man, I have to boost my perception. Sorry. Dice roll a 1.
Dice roller 1. Yeah.
5. And she's got her diff would be 4. 1, 2. We both
You
get 2.
got to be shitting me.
What?
7 dice at fucking diff 3 and 2 successes.
I mean, those ones though. Those ones.
Yeah.
Both of you will see. All 6 of them categorically are kindred.
Sorry, I didn't get all of that.
All 6 of
Hang
them are
on.
kindred.
Okay. Margaret will make a mental note of that, but
That's will Evelyn.
And just to really, really, really fuck with you guys, give me 20 seconds. One of them looks like this.
fuck you.
No! You're gonna make me cry. It's not fair.
Poor Bahariel.
That's at 5. Margaret will smile at that at them. Like, ooh, pretty.
Famushi will say, "These are some of the children that were brought into the night against their will. I've taken it upon myself to teach them the right way."
I love how Margot's first thought is like, ooh, pretty. Evelyn's like, awkward, more people. I don't like it.
Did Bishop ever tell you what knowing about Golconda was?
No.
Yeah.
He has seen it, though. He's seen my message.
Ooh,
He
he's
saw
ignoring
it
you.
3 minutes ago.
Him
Yeah,
ignoring
he's
you.
ignoring you.
Like, God damn it. I'm good. Oh, you're in for it, Bishop. I'm gonna end you. Oh shit, I just realized it's fucking Sunday night.
Why is that a thing?
Game of Thrones.
Hasn't it already been on?
It's only 10:30 here.
The band.
It literally just ended.
There you go then.
And I haven't watched it yet.
An Ariel or Fanushi stands up and brushes himself off as he says,
But thank you both for your donations. Should you ever need me for anything, you could only but to ask.
And you are, of course, as I've said, welcome to my bathhouse.
I thank you for your offer.
Oh, and if anyone dares to, well, mess with the construction of the hospital, they will meet the wrath of the Iron Rose.
I am gratified that you would give such an assurance. Thank you.
I can't. I can't offer a bathhouse or much in the way of protection, but if any of the people that get treated at your hospital need clothing, I can provide that.
He reaches out his hand and he says, "May I see you, Lady Evelyn?"
I'm sorry, I cannot hear a word you're saying.
he reaches out his hands and he says, "May I see you, Lady Evelyn?"
Yes, of course. She would have seen him do this to Dristan, so she would approach and take his hands and kind of move them up to her face.
He does that very, very delicate touching of the face that blind people do in order to kind of understand what you look like. Before he nods and he says, "You have a face that could melt empires and turn cities to rubble."
I agree. Oh, and if only you could see her hair. It is of...
And all of the blood just rushes to Evelyn's face.
No, it doesn't. You have to spend a blood point to do that.
You know what? Fuck it, she does. I do spend a blood point to do that.
There you go. Blush of health, it's a thing.
They say that my clan has passion unequal. When I think of that passion, I think of a color. The color of her hair.
This seems like an excellent place to end our scene.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Because Evelyn is being incredibly fucking awkward right now.
So, thank you so much for playing. Thank you for watching. This has been another scene of Edessa, the Crusade, Season 2. Have a pleasant evening.